Good morning. Today is Wednesday, September 1 or September the 1st, 2021. Welcome to another science class, Unit 4, Forces and Motion.
Good morning. Happy 1st of September. How are you this morning? Okay, I am fine too. Today it is already a Wednesday and it is September 1 or September the 1st, 2021. You see, I turned my whiteboard so we have more space to write. Okay, today we will start with science. And we will need our science book, so you can already get your science books. But before we do that, some vocabulary and some pictures I want to show you. Okay, in your English notebook, please write Wednesday, September 1, September the 1st, 2021. Then you write number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will start with our vocabulary for today. The first word is F-R-E-E-L-Y. Freely. F-R-E-E-L-Y. Freely. So later in the book there will be a magnet suspended in the air. Freely. That means the magnet is hanging in the air and nothing is holding it, so it's just hanging freely. What happens when a magnet hangs in the air freely? It will turn itself to the north, right? That's how a compass works. But we will read about that later, and I have some more words and I will show you some pictures as well. So freely means freely, not held back by anything. And number 2 is S-U-S-P-E-N-D-E-D. Suspended. 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 What does suspended mean? It's actually a difficult word for hanging. Yes. So suspended means the same as hanging. For example, right off my big board now, maybe you ever seen a bridge like this. There is also one in Bangkok, and it goes like this. And then the road is like that, right? So the cars drive here over the bridge, right? And you see these cables. Now this bridge is called a suspension bridge because the road is actually hanging from these cables, right? So this is a suspension bridge. So suspended means hanging, hanging from. So you learned something, right? Suspended, another word for hanging, but you will see the word later in the lesson. Number 3, this one, C-O-M-P-A-S-S. C-O-M-P-A-S-S. Compass. What is a compass? Now, I have a picture. This is a compass. See? Now, you see this compass, the needle, this is called the needle of the compass. We will see that word later in the vocabulary. Is red and blue, same as the magnets in the book. Blue is South Pole, red is the North Pole. Now what happened with a compass? The needle always points north, right? So if you don't know where north is, you just look at the needle, that's north. So if you would turn the compass a little bit, it would point at the end, and then you know where north is. And also where south is, because that's the opposite, right? So this is a compass. Okay, so One more time. Number one, freely. F-R-E-E-L-Y. Suspended. S-U-S-P-E-N-D-E-D. Hanging. Suspended means hanging. And three, compass. C-O-M-P-A-S-S. Okay, let's look at three more. Okay, number four is N-E-E-D-L-E. Needle. N-E-E-D-L-E. Needle. Well, a needle, let me draw one. You know, when you sew clothes, that's a needle, right? And the thread goes through there. So that's the one you use for sewing, right? That's called a needle. But this one is also called a needle, right? So if it's a compass, we don't say a hand like in a clock, but we call it a needle. This is the needle of the compass. Okay, so needle is this one, but also that one. Number five. Wait. U-N-L-I-K-E. U-N-L-I-K-E. Well, you know this word, right? Like, unlike. So, unlike means different. Okay? So, for example, this is called a needle. Unlike a clock, they are called hands. So, unlike means different than. So, different than. So, this is called a needle, different than a clock, because they are called hands. But you can also use the word unlike. Okay? We will see it later in the text. And the last one, number 6, comes back because it's in the lesson and it has also kind of more than one meaning. F-L-O-A-T. Float. Remember, I'll go to this side again. Remember, if you're in the ocean, yeah, the boat is floating, right? The boat is floating. So, when something is on the water and it doesn't sink, it floats. So that's that word. But, look at these ring magnets. You see these ring magnets? They are also floating. So these are ring magnets on a stick. And if you put them in a certain way, if you twist them, so the same poles are together, they will float. And you can do that with as many as you want. If you push it down really hard and you let it go, it will poof, go up. So here are 3 with opposite poles, and the top one has the same poles, so only the top one floats. So this is also called floating. Okay? Okay, so remember that. One more time, number 4, needle. N-E-E-D-L-E, needle. Number 5, unlike. Unlike means different than. U-N-L-I-K-E. And number 6, float. F-L-O-A-T. Float. Okay, that's the vocabulary. You can underline. Let's have a look at our science book. Okay, let's go to our science book and we start at page number 65 at the bottom of the page. I will show you that page in a while. Then we go to page number 66. Okay, so 65 and 66. So let's look up close first, and then after that I will be back and then we will answer these questions here together. Okay, so please get your book, go to page 65 and read along with me.
Okay, look at the bottom part of the page 65. Another reminder that like poles repel, unlike poles attract. Magnets can attract or repel each other. When 2 bar magnets are placed together with the like poles facing each other, they will repel each other. However, when they are placed together with the unlike poles facing each other, they will attract each other. But we already do this, so remember, unlike poles attract, like poles repel. And it doesn't matter what shape a magnet is or what size, it is always the same. Like poles repel, unlike poles attract. So this goes the same for other magnets of various shapes. Like poles of two U-shaped magnets repel, while the unlike poles attract. So remember the picture I showed you of the ring magnets on a stick? Let's think. Ace places a ring magnet onto a pencil. How can he make the second ring magnet float above the first ring magnet? Well, what he can do is place another ring magnet and then with the same poles, this way the magnet will float on top of the other magnet. If he turns the magnet around, however, they will attract. Okay, and this is how a compass works. You see, when a magnet is suspended freely in the air, remember suspended and freely were in the vocabulary. So suspended means hanging. You see the magnet hanging, and it's hanging freely. So nothing is stopping it. If this is the case, the magnet will always point to the north. So the north side of the magnet, the north pole of the magnet will point to the north automatically. And this is how a compass works. You can always see where the north is. And if you know where north is, you also know where south is, because that is the opposite. So the north pole of the magnet will point to the north and the south pole will point to the south, in the same direction as the needle in a compass. Okay, let's think again. You are given a bar magnet without any indication of its poles. How do you find out which pole is the North Pole? If we look back at the video, we see that if you have a bar magnet, you need a compass. And the compass will tell you where north is.
Okay, now let's have a look at page 67. You see there all these words in the word box at the top. Let's read those words first together. So in the pink area here, let's read those words. The first one here at the top is south. South. So the opposite of north is south. A magnet has a north pole and a south pole. The next one, we just read from left to right. The next one, direction. Direction. The next one, touching. Touching. Next one, non-magnetic. Non-magnetic. Plastic and rubber is non-magnetic. Repel. Repel. Remember, same poles repel. Opposite poles attract. Next one, move. Move. Next one, the opposite of repel, attract. Attract. The next one, stop. Stop. The next one, the opposite of non-magnetic, magnetic. We are here now, magnetic. Next one, slow. That's the opposite of fast. Then force. Force. Remember, a force can be a push or a pull. And there's also magnetic force. The force that a magnet has. Magnetic force. And the last one, the opposite of south, north. Okay, we are going to do this one together. But I want you to participate and try to find the answer. So I will do it slowly. Try to find the answer yourself first, okay? Okay, let's start with number 1, 2 and 3. Okay, are you ready? Number 1. Let's read number 1 together. A blank is a push or pull that is applied on an object. So a blank is a push or pull that is applied on an object. Look at the words. What word is missing? This one is easy, no? What is a push or a pull? Push or a pull is a... Okay, I'm waiting for 10 seconds. I want you to find it. You got it? A force. So number 1 on the blank you write force. A force is a push or a pull that is applied on an object. Okay, number 2. A force can blank a stationary object. What is stationary? It means it doesn't move, right? So an object that doesn't move is stationary. For example, if I put my marker here, the marker is stationary, it doesn't move. Okay? But what can a force do to a stationary object? Look, if I do like this, it moves, right? So what word is missing on the blank? A force can move a stationary object. Okay, number 3. We need 2 words there. Oh, I thought it was 3. 2. A force can speed up or down a moving object. I will give you a hint. A force can speed up or down a moving object. You got it? A force can stop, speed up or slow down. So slow. So number 3, stop and slow. Force, number 1, number 2, move, number 3, stop and slow. Okay, let's look at number 4, 5 and 6. Okay, number 4. Let's read number 4. A force can change the of a moving object. A force can change the of a moving object. So the object goes this way, and by pushing it, it goes that way. So the object changes. Look at the words. The object changes direction. Correct. The object changes direction. It goes from one way to another. So number 4 is direction. Okay, number 5. Contact forces are the forces that act between 2 objects that are physically each other. So they make contact. They make contact, so they touch each other, right? That is a contact force, is a force that physically is touching each other. So look for the word touching. That is number 5. Touching. Touching. Then number 6. Do you remember what is a non-contact force? So blank is a non-contact force. Look at the word box. Which one is a non-contact force? Last week we talked all about these things that are non-contact force. Right, a magnetic force. Magnetic force. We have to write it with a big letter because it's in the beginning of the sentence. Magnetic force is a non-contact force. So magnetic. Okay, write it on the blank. Don't write too big because you don't have a lot of space. Okay, so one more time. Number 4. A force can change the direction of a moving object. Number 5. Contact forces are the forces that act between two objects that are physically touching each other. And number 6. Magnetic force is a non-contact force. Okay, let's look at the last 4. Okay, let's continue. Number 7. Magnets attract objects such as paper clips, iron nails and steel keys. So, nails and paper clips and keys made of steel, they are, what are they? A magnet attracts them, so they are magnetic. Very good. Magnetic. So number 7 is magnetic. Magnetic. Magnets attract magnetic objects such as paper clips, iron nails and steel keys. Okay, let's continue with number 8. Objects are not attracted to magnets. So, magnetic objects are attracted to magnets, but objects are not attracted. You should know this one, right? That's right, non-magnetic. Again, we have to write with a big letter because it's the first word in the sentence. Non-magnetic. Okay, so non-magnetic objects are not attracted to magnets. For example, plastic or fabric, not magnetic. Okay, number 9, very difficult one. Every magnet has two poles, namely the pole and the pole. Do you remember? Of course, the North Pole and the South Pole, right? North Pole and South Pole. Okay, now the last one, we have 2 more words left. The like poles of magnets, whereas the unlike poles of magnets, So we have 2 words left, repel and attract. So, same poles, do they repel or attract? Remember, I showed you the magnets on the stick. They float because these poles are the same. So, same poles repel. Same poles repel. So, the like poles of magnets repel. Whereas the unlike poles, so a North Pole and a South Pole, attract. Okay, so one more time. Number 7, magnetic. Number 8, non-magnetic. Number 9, North and South Pole. And number 10, repel and attract. Okay, that is all for today. No need to send me a picture of your work because we did it together, so you don't have to send me anything. It's not homework, it is work that we do during the lesson. Okay, good. I'll be back tomorrow. First, we have a Zoom class at 1 p.m. so I hope you can join me. And then if you cannot join me, I will see you tomorrow morning. Okay, so have a nice day. See you in the afternoon or else tomorrow.